Okay, here's the truth. You don't have to finish your online course before you start selling it. In fact, waiting until everything's perfect might be the biggest mistake you could probably make, especially if you're a first-time course creator. Hi, my name's James, trainingsites.io, and over 60 online course creator. And after creating thousands of video tutorials and almost close to 100 courses, for coaches, consultants, speakers, experts, people just wanting to share what they already know and do. I can tell you, and I'm going to show you, that there's a much easier and faster way, and probably smarter way, to get your course out there, get it created, and more importantly, start earning some money with it. So I got my cameras, everything set up here. Let's talk about how you can sell your course even before it's finished. And it's something called dripped lessons. So if you're an over 40 first-time creator and you're thinking about this and you're going, okay, I have an idea for a course, I want to get going with it. What are the things that usually stop you or hold you back? And in most cases, it's something about hoping or wanting to make sure that everything is perfect right off the start. I can't start selling a course until I have the perfect content, all created, all put together, all perfect looking. So that's kind of the first thing that you may find yourself in. The other thing is the energy investment. You may still be working, you may be retired, semi-retired, and you're thinking about it and going, okay, great. How much time is this actually going to take me? How much work and effort is involved with it? You might be wondering, I don't know all of this technology stuff. What do I need to know? What software do I need to buy? What kind of camera do I have? How do I film it? Where's the studio? All of this stuff can be completely overwhelming. And at the end of the day, you may go, okay, great. I've got all of this great kind of content put together. How much am I going to earn? How much money can I actually earn from this? Is it going to be worth my while? And more importantly, you're going, okay, well, how can I make this stand out? How can I have it so that I have a particular topic I'm interested in, but how am I going to know if people are actually going to buy it or want to buy it? So I get that. I absolutely get that. These are real concerns, and everyone has them who's just starting out. And what I'd like to do is share with you how you don't have to finish your course. And here's why it's important that you don't finish your course before before you start selling it. So here's the big thing that often happens with people when they're creating their first-time course. You're not always afraid of or know what it is that's actually going to sell. You may go to a course, you may read some stuff, watch some YouTube videos, and you may find that people talk about the niche or the topic and making sure that you have a niche. And you do all this research, and at the end of the day, what might happen is you may have the wrong idea. Even though you're passionate about something, but you may have completely the wrong idea for the student or the person that you're actually trying to create the course for. So it doesn't matter if you're passionate and you have a topic, you got to make sure it's the right one. It's the one that makes sense for the people who are going to pay you some money. That's the other thing that happens too. You have to consider, okay, what's going to happen to my cash flow? If you saw the movie Jerry Maguire, you're a little bit older, it was always Jerry was the agent for the athlete, and the athlete always said to Jerry, show me the money, Jerry. You're going to create a course, but you're putting investment in time and maybe some money, getting all this extra stuff done to make it perfect, and you're going, is it really worth it? Am I going to earn any money with it? When am I going to start getting some cash for it? The other thing that often happens too is when you're finishing a course or you're working at finishing a course, you work really, really hard at it. It's taken a really long time, and it's hard to stay motivated. You, again, take a week, a month, and you're going, I don't see any financial returns for it. It's not working out the way that I wanted. It's really hard to stay motivated. When I wrote my first book in the early 2000s, it took me 6 or 7 months to write a book. Did it kind of part-time, but still, it's hard to stay motivated when you're creating content, whether that be a course or any kind of digital marketing information product. It's really, really hard to stay focused on it and stay motivated. And The real reason for that is that many people, especially when they're starting out, is they're completely focused on making sure stuff is perfect before they put it out. I'll give you kind of a saying that I think of all of the time. Whenever you create an online course, this always happens. There's 3 things that you have to think about, or 3 things that you should consider while you're doing that. Here's the first one. There's always the course that you planned. So you have some wonderful idea for a course. You've got a complete vision what it is. So there's a course you planned. There's a course you actually made and created. So you've got the one that you planned, the one that you created, and on the hindsight, after it's out, there's the course that you should have done. No course will ever be perfect. You'll never be happy with it. So don't get hung up on it being perfection. Always out. It's not a static thing that just happens and then it's over and done with. Just doesn't work like that. So always think about perfection. And if I'm going to finish my course, is it going to be perfect when I come out? And I'm waiting to launch it or start selling it until it is perfect, because it's never going to be perfect. The other thing, there's a lot of pressure on yourself, right? You feel accountable. It's like, I'm going to sell a course. It's like, how am I going to keep this? And if I say I'm going to do a course, how am I going to actually go ahead and make sure that it gets out? And this, kind of think of it like this and put it in perspective. Let's say that you're going to open a restaurant and you're going, man, I love cooking. I absolutely love cooking. I've got all of these great things that I cook on a regular basis. And maybe I'm known for a signature dish or one kind of thing, right? If I go and I want to open a restaurant, do you open the restaurant with that one item that you get started with, or do you wait until you have a complete menu of all of the side dishes and everything that you can cook? You can't open a restaurant on just one kind of finished product, with all of the different products. You've got to get your first one out there and then gradually introduce all of the different pieces. So you can start with the one that you love and the one that your customers might be known for, and you start earning revenue or start growing from that particular one. And it's based on the other dishes you bring in are based on the actual feedback that you're getting from customers. And this is exactly the same thing you do with an online course. Instead of waiting until you're finished every lesson, what you do is you start releasing content right now. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about dripped lessons. So you're creating a course. What normally happens is that you have this particular course put together. You've maybe used ChatGPT and these other tools to create a curriculum or a syllabus. You've got all of these topics listed. You've got your bullet points, your flow charts. You maybe even use ChatGPT to create a script, but now you've just got to record them and do the videos. No, you don't. You actually only have to do a couple videos to get started, because all of the platforms that you deliver your course content on, whether it's something like we do with Fluent Communities or LearnDash or any of the WordPress ones that we recommend, or even if you're using any kind of service, software as a service where you can sell courses from their platform, you can rent space on their platform, they have something called drip lessons. And the way that a drip lesson works is that if you have a course of 10 lessons or 15 lessons, you can set up that the lesson only gets released a set period of time after the first one. So it doesn't mean you have to have the course finished. It means if you have them released every week or every 3 days or every 5 days, you can create the first couple of lessons and just list the balance of the course, but you don't have to actually complete the 7 additional lessons. You only have to start with the 3. And this does some really neat things for you, because if you look at it this way and you're in a kind of the whole headspace of, I want to get some real feedback and I want to figure out, is this the course that you want? Or is this the stuff that people want to get from you? You may have the topics, you may have the title, but is this the course that answers the questions that the students are actually asking? A lot of times when people create their first course, One of the things that they run into is they create a course that they think, as the instructor, has all of the information that the student wants without getting any feedback from the student. So if you drip lessons and you let them out over a period of time, you can do the first couple, but you'll get some feedback from the people who are actually taking that first course. They're going to start, you can ask some questions, you can look in the comments, you can open up some discussions. What did you like? What did you not like? If they start asking about something that you didn't cover or weren't considering covering, you can go and adjust the later lessons. You're not stuck having everything finished and then having to go, oh, my course doesn't take this into account, or I don't cover that. You now have the ability to go and move all of the goalposts for yourself to make sure that you're making the customers happy or the students happy, but more importantly, making sure that you're answering the questions that they have. The other thing that happens is if you start selling earlier, you start selling before it's done, the really, really cool thing is you can get in, if you're marketing your program, you can get in and you can actually go and start earning some money for the course that isn't even created. So you're in a great position that you now get a proper course answering the questions that your students actually want and feedback from them. You can start earning some cash or cash flow from it, and you can make sure that the finished course is exactly what the people want. The other thing that happens too is if you have a syllabus of, let's say, 10 lessons, you may find that there may only need to be 7 lessons, or there may be need for 15 lessons. You may also find out that your course covers one area, but people are asking about another area. You're going to get another idea for another complete course. And once you get this system down, it's like a cookie cutter. You know this is how it works, and you can start creating courses over a period of time. So this is just like a super way to get started. It takes all of the pressure off you. When you're creating a course, it doesn't have to be perfect and it doesn't have to be finished, and you're going to get real feedback from real people. Not only on what you did, but on what they wanted and what you should be doing. So I'll give you one example of how I did this, and this is a kind of a neat one because it's one that I first did by accident, and this is how I learned this. I had a podcast or a newsletter, and it was a video podcast, the first one I did, and it was for a book that I wrote called 52 Secrets My Mom Never Told Me About Internet Marketing. I had a book with it, and I have a weekly video / newsletter at the time. And this was like early 2000s. And I did this by mistake. I didn't understand why I did it at the time, but this is how I learned it. I had 52 secrets my mom never told me. And of course, the only reason I had 52 is because it was a weekly newsletter. So I had one for each week. And I thought, well, I'll guess 52. That's kind of cool. It's a neat title. And I started doing 1 or 2 kind of lessons. And I got people subscribing, and they were giving me feedback. So I didn't do all 52 to get started. When I started 52 Secrets that my mom told me about internet marketing, those video tutorials, I was on secret number 2 when I released secret number 1. I was only ever ahead of the first subscriber, the first person to purchase your course. I was only 1 lesson ahead, and that's it, until I got to 52. Now, if I'd done that up front before, can you imagine what those 52 secrets were like if I'd actually started them and completed them before I started selling the first secret? Wouldn't have been anything like it. That time and that feedback completely adjusted or let me get the 52 secrets out where the ones were important that were answering the questions that the people actually had. And at the end of the day, you want to sell great content, and you want it to be sold to the people that you want to be able to help answering the questions that they have. So this is an exciting time for first-time course creators. If you're over 40, you got all this experience, and you're wanting to start a course, but you're afraid to because it's overwhelming, all I'm suggesting is that you consider dripping your courses. Now, if you want to find out more about dripping courses and how to set it up on all of these platforms, you have a couple choices. One is you can wait till the next video, which will show up on the screen on one of these corners after. Or the other thing is if you can make sure to join trainingsites.io, which is my free community that we're starting to build that shares all of these additional resources, checklists, ChatGPT prompts, all of that stuff about starting, building, and growing your education business and creating online courses, especially if you're a first-time creator or someone who just wants to share what it is that they already know, love, and do. So stay tuned for tomorrow. That course will be up probably in the morning. I might do it later today. I'm not sure, just because it's very fresh on my mind right now. And hope you enjoyed this. Like and subscribe to the channel, of course. Make sure to join up the community and stay tuned for tomorrow, because I'll be here sharing all of this stuff on how you can earn money with your online courses in a way that's super relaxing, super easy, and a lot of fun. Take care and expect the best.